Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer today. It's Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. I, of course, am here with the Daily Mortgage Rate Update, the only place on the web where you get to join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, broadcasted to you on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, you can find it on the Originator Success Facebook business page, or you can find it on my personal profile. And if you're on YouTube, you want to look under the Originator Success channel. If you're watching the replay, don't forget to give me a hashtag replay in the comments. If you're here live, say good morning. Don't forget to smash that like button, tag an yellow friend, share this post in a group. If you want a reminder that I'm going live and you want that sent out to you by text message each day, you could sign up for that reminder at hmmr.io/reminder. And did you know, if you're on your mobile device, if you're on your phone and you want to use this cool QR code over here, you can just snap a screenshot and then save it to your photos. Go into your photos, and you can actually use the QR code from there. It's a pretty cool feature. I think it's available on most phones. I do know it's available on iPhones. So go ahead and sign up for our text reminders, absolutely free of charge. Let's go ahead and say hi to live folks. Mr. James Mahan, good morning, sir. Michael Love, great to see you. Mallory Fotiadas, good morning. Brandy Brickler, how are you, my friend? Amy Blauser, good morning. Great to see you as well. Let's go ahead and, as we're saying hi to everybody, let's ask the question of the day. Question of the day: what's a movie that you've watched more than 5 times? Put your answer in the chat, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it after we go over all the market and rate stuff. I'll tell you about mine. You know, it's probably one of those movies that back in the day when you had regular TV, it was like you'd open up and you'd end up like right in the middle of the movie, and you'd go ahead and watch the rest of it, or maybe you've tried to watch it on purpose. There's a couple of different ones that I've watched more than 5 times. I'll share those with you. You go ahead and share them with me. I'd love to hear them. Good morning, Bobby Searson, Dan Crowley, Angela Walters, good morning. Brandy Brickler giving me an answer. We're going to go over all your answers after I go over all the market stuff. So go ahead and tell me what you got going on. I'm going to put that on the bottom. Let's go ahead and let's get started, get into the good stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the other screen. So if you take a look here, mortgage-backed securities are down 24 basis points to start the day. However, I don't know how much the amount is looking at any of the regular services, MBS Live or even MBS Highway or Rate Alert. I don't know. Today, though, they're not mentioning it, but I can see it right here. Today is, if we look to 11/2025, today is a bond rollover day. So that was, that's kind of actually, the bond rollover is the 13th. So it's not the notification date, it's the settlement date. So no, that's not bond rollover. All right, well, it was worth a try. But anyway, mortgage bonds are down about 24 basis points from where we were at yesterday, 100.83. The one downside to this, by the way, is if we take a look, we can see that we broke the 50-day moving average here significantly, which we were kind of looking to provide some technical support. So if we look yesterday, you could see that yesterday the bonds were flat all day yesterday. Down here, if we look in the corner, let's go ahead and see if we we'll zoom in on this. Hold on, let me refresh this page. We'll zoom on this and I'll tell you a little bit about this. So if we take a look here, you could see that bonds were flat yesterday. However, we opened this morning with a bit of a big drop, and then we got another drop at 840. I'm not sure why we got this drop. I don't know. I didn't see Powell's prepared testimony out yet, but maybe there's something there that I'm not seeing. But there seems like there was a bit of a drop and then it settled down. Right now, though, we are 25 basis points worse off than yesterday. And you know what that means? It means rate sheets today are going to be a bit worse because bonds are off to a slow start. The 10-year Treasury yield, 4.53. Breaking above its 50-day moving average also right here, which was acting as a support level. Remember, we don't want yields to go up. We want bond prices to go up on this candlestick over here. We want yields to go down. It's inverse of pricing. So as far as reprice risk goes, your initial pricing is going to be worse today, but reprice risk on the day is low. Bonds are starting off the day weak. It's unlikely we see any big sell-offs that are going to trigger any reprices. Not much that we have to worry about there. So if you're just joining me, Bill Stevens, good morning. Joy Kite, good morning. Mike Morano, great to see you. Colin Jordan, good morning. Question of the day. Make sure you answer the question of the day. And if you're watching on the replay, still answer the question of the day. What movie have you watched more than 5 times? And I'm going to circle back. We'll answer all of those at the end after we go through all of the content here. We'll go over your answers. So let me just adjust this, the size of this, so I can keep it up next to me as we talk about everything else that's going on this morning. So like I say, like you see on the screen, reprice risk on the day is low. Not much that we have to worry about to start. Hopefully we do get some kind of a recovery though. Let me make this a little smaller now that we're shrinking the page. Not loving the fact that the 10-year treasury yield broke that 4.5 mark right here. Hopefully it comes back down, but we're going to watch now. The next level of support we would see is the blue line, the 25-day moving average. Not nearly as big of a deal. Not nearly as much. We should be seeing more support from that 50-day moving average, which is a little frustrating. As far as what's affecting rates today, we've got Powell's press conference. That's going to be the big thing, as well as tomorrow's inflation report and markets getting ready for the inflation data. So going through kind of what's going on today, let's see. I'm just going to see. Today, Powell heads for Capitol Hill. He's going to be in front of Congress. He's going to start out in front of the Senate Banking Committee. Tomorrow, he'll be in front of the House Financial Services Committee. And some comments from some of the people in the Trump article, or in the Trump, in the Bloomberg article. Powell heads for hypercharged hearings overshadowed by Trump. So he's going to get a lot of questions after the last Fed meeting and his policy statement, the policy statement in his press conference. Trump says Fed has done a terrible job on banking regulation, says Treasury will lead an effort to cut regulation. Trump comments after FOMC voted to hold interest rates steady. President Donald Trump assailed, I love it when they use those fancy words, right? The Fed's approach to bank regulation, accused Chair Jay Powell of fumbling the fight against inflation while refraining from directly commenting on interest rates. The Fed has done a terrible job on regulation. Treasury is going to lead the effort to cut unnecessary regulation. Will unleash lending for all American people and businesses. Trump posted Wednesday on a social media site. He commented after the Fed Open Market Committee voted unanimously to keep the Fed funds rate in a range of 4.25 to 4.5. The president wrote, Jay Powell and the Fed failed to stop the problem they created with inflation. Did not mention the rate decision. So, of course, we know that this is going to be the MO. Trump wants to see rates lowered. He wants the economy to be, on fire. Powell's going to get a lot of questions about that today. Is it going to really affect markets? Not really. I thought that his prepared comments were out before. They should have been out by now, but I don't see them being posted anywhere on the Fed site. So make sure you are answering. By the way, good morning, Jonathan McDaniel. Let's see. Good morning, Jason Hansen. So make sure you answer the question of the day. What's a movie you've watched more than 5 times? We're going to answer those all at the end. So I don't see anything for this testimony. The prepared comments should be out. I can't find them. Usually I can find them on the Fed site or by Googling. They've got his press conference from the Fed meeting on January 29th, but I don't see anything for his comments here. Not sure where else to find them. I don't see that anyone else has shared them either. They're not out here anywhere. It's not something that I've seen on there. So not really a lot to go on. As far as digging a little bit deeper, take a look at rate sheets. They're going to be a little bit worse than yesterday. We were cautiously floating yesterday. I don't like this. We're going to watch this carefully. As far as lock advice goes, excuse me. Let me edit this. Cautiously float to start. Protect anything that can't risk tomorrow's CPI data and float the rest with fingers crossed. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this up there. As far as lock advice goes, cautiously float to start the day. Let's see if we get any kind of recovery. But right now, we're seeing things worsen, not get better. We've seen that kind of ticking down. You're going to make sure that you lock in anything that is risk averse, anything that's got to be protected from tomorrow's CPI data. Now, the January CPI data is generally especially important, right? So here's an article from the Fed Whisperer, Nick Timiraos. Giddy up, Mr. Randy Tico. Make sure you tell me the question of the day, your answer. What's a movie you watched more than 5 times? But otherwise, why this week's inflation report is especially important. Fed officials are wary about getting through turn-of-the-year price resets, which contributes to big inflation jumps in recent years. January inflation reports are crucial as they reflect significant price adjustments made by businesses at the start of the year. The Fed closely monitors January inflation data to assess the effectiveness of its monetary policy in curbing inflation. President Trump's new tariffs on Chinese imports and steel and aluminum could complicate the inflation outlook. Also, I'm pretty sure that the January data has updated seasonal adjustments. They do adjust those seasonal adjustments once a year, and I do believe that is calendar year to the January stuff. Let's see. There's only one mention of the word adjustments in here. So let's try seasonal. I mean, there you go. Now, why did it not find adjustment right there, right? So officials are greeted by a similar root inflation surprise at the start of 2023 when changes to seasonal adjustment factors revised away previous progress. So that kind of confirms what I thought would happen, is that we get changes to seasonal adjustments, and that could tweak this CPI reading a little bit differently than what we will get through the rest of the year. So, but overall, if you can't risk floating into it, loans closing in the next couple of weeks, things like that. If you want to protect them, you're going to lock them before we get into there. Unfortunately, we did lose a bit of ground from yesterday's pricing, but it's still not much in the scheme of things. As we've seen, we go from 7.03, 7.01. Today we'll be back up to 7.03. Basically this brings us back to, if we do a 5-day, you can see it just kind of brings us back to where we were, just losing a bit of ground. So it's not, actually, it doesn't show on the 5-day because we were actually better off up here, but this brings us back to where we were here. But we're going to watch this and see where that triggers. You're going to get some support, right here. This one started at open at 100.50. So we've got some support at about 100.50, but we'll see if that holds. So, all right, well, that's I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing for now. Let's go ahead and answer the question of the day. Let's see what your answers were. Let's go ahead and see. So good morning. Question of the day is, give me a movie you have watched more than 5 times. Brandy, Shawshank Redemption. I'm right there with you. It seems like they played that on TV Saturdays and Sundays for forever. I have probably seen the second half of that movie 15 times because I always come up in the middle of it. Top Gun, another great movie. I've seen that one over 5 times as well, for sure. Forrest Gump, great movie, but I have not watched it more than 5 times. Megan, you're on your own for that one. That's a long movie. Die Hard, of course, baby. I watch it every Christmas. That's a great one, James. Star Wars, yep, seen that one too. Lord of the Rings. I have not seen those more than 5 times. Good morning, Rob Stewart. Rob's Tombstone and Shawshank. Yes, Tombstone, another good movie, but I have not seen it more than 5 times. You know what y'all have not mentioned that I have seen more than 5 times? The Matrix. I've seen The Matrix. It's probably, I'm going to say, one of my favorite movies. I've seen it more than a dozen times. I just find it to be just crazy. The Big Short, that's funny, Jason. Commando as a kid, Die Hard, yep. Happy Gilmore. These are some more upbeat ones from Amy. Happy Gilmore, Hoosiers, Pixels, The Matrix. There it is. See, someone watched The Matrix. Jumanji, old Jumanji or new Jumanji, Amy? Are we doing Robin Williams Jumanji or The Rock Jumanji? Which one did you watch all those times? Good morning, Joy. Let's see. Mallory, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, My Girl, Top Gun, Dirty Dancing. I've seen Dirty Dancing a few times, but not more than five. Frozen, Moana, Inside Out. Yeah, Colin, really, you're screaming parent. That's funny. Jonathan, Wolf of Wall Street. That was a great movie too. Jordan Belfort's story. Die Hard. I have not seen Interstellar more than once. Wolf of Wall Street. Glengarry Glen Ross. Seen it a couple of times, not more than five. Forrest Gump. Not seen it more than five. Randy, you're a big Lord of the Rings fan too. Tommy Boy. Oh, that's funny. You know what? I've seen a bunch of times, but not more than five. Talladega Nights. Randy Teagle, The Green Mile, Shawshank, Hobbit's Trilogy, It's a Wonderful Life, Open Range, Star Wars, all of them. You go, Robin. Brandy, you called out Colin for all the dad movies too. That's funny, right? Mike, also a Shawshank Redemption. Is it funny? Shawshank Redemption is really, and I'll bet you Stephen King. I wonder if Stephen King likes that movie. That was a short story in one of his collections. It was, the movies, the best Stephen King movies have been from short stories rather than the long stuff generally. But good morning, Simon Glenn, live. Great to see you, Repo Man. That sounds familiar, but I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go check it out. Ivan, also seeing Forrest Gump. Pulp Fiction for Mike Schmolgen. The Hangover. I've seen The Hangover a couple of times, not more than five. Home Alone. I've seen more than five. Elf. We've seen more than five. The Christmas movies, right? I haven't seen the Rocky movies. They're great. I've seen them a couple of times, but not more than five. And it's, Amy said, the new Jumanji, the Rock Jumanji, not the old one. So, all right, my friends. Well, thank you for playing along and sharing your answer to the question of the day. Appreciate you. We will see what happens today. If you're not signed up for our text alerts, it might be a good day for it because we're going to have to see where things go. You can sign up at www.ratetextalerts.com. Get some text alerts on where we go. Again, right now, mortgage bonds are down about 25 basis points on the day, which means that pricing is going to be slightly worse, but we're cautiously floating. We got the testimony, which will start in 11 minutes. I would have assumed the prepared the comments, remarks were out, but I can't find them anywhere. So we'll see. But I don't think it's going to shake anything up. And then really the main thing is tomorrow's inflation data. Once again, we're going to get new seasonal adjustment factors on that one. I'm 90% sure it was referenced in Tim Ross's article. So I believe that that's when they do it. So we'll see. There's a chance if inflation comes in as expected, it'll be good for rates, but we're not going to see rates move much anyway, one way or the other. If you'd like to sign up for our free lock advice, you can sign up at www.ratelockadvice.com. If you're using your phone, you can take a screenshot and then in your photos, pull this back up and you can actually access that QR code. That's a cool trick I learned. I know it works on iPhones, not sure about other phones. So go check it out. And then last but not least, go check out originatorssuccess.com because you got to go get some business. We'll show you how we can help you get loans from Google and social media. All right, my friends, I'm going to wrap it up. I will see y'all tomorrow. Make it a great day and we'll talk more. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how that CPI inflation number comes out. It'll come out at 8:30 a.m. So we'll be ready to dissect it and see what kind of an effect it has on markets. We'll look back and see if Powell did say anything, different or worth noting today, and we'll take it from there. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great one. Bye-bye.